Okay, what this is going to be is basically a chase game type thing where the A is going to just chase the player. Oh, hold on. First, before I do that, you're going to want to make a matrix. 14 by 21, crap, hold on. And put ones all the way around the edges like this on all four sides. Make sure it is this size, because that's going to be the size of the display. Let's see, and we'll start off with this one. These are the variables set here. Some of these don't actually need to be set here, however they are, because I can. And then this will store a random int between 10 and 30 into R. And then that will store between 10 and 20 into Q. These are for loops. V is representing of Y, W is representative of X. Now you'll notice it starts 2 and 13, which you notice is actually 2 less than the grid size in B. That's the reason you have the ones on the outside, because the ones on the outside will not be displayed on the map. And you want that so the player and the AI don't read off the map, because that'll error it. And you also don't want it to try to display off the map, because that'll error it. And you also don't want to change what's there, because that could cause problems, which will cause errors. Now then, this is just for the loading little screen that'll give you little dots that'll go on and go off. Just because loading takes a little while with the game the way it is. Now then, 0 will be a single square in the middle of a 5 by 5 cube. The random into S is 2Q. This will be for the enemy. We want to have him anywhere from towards the beginning of the map towards the end of the map. And then E, which will devise which number goes into B. First one is a regular block. That'll be where you can't move to. Then if E is 2 and E is 5, and U is equal to R, which is that random number up above, R I mean, then we'll store 2, which is the player's position. We'll then make G to 1. This is actually to make sure that the player has been created, so that way if the player is not created, it will forcibly put the player on the map. And then we put R plus 1 stowed U so that U can never equal R anymore. Then if E is 2 or E is 5, you just add 1 to U so that it eventually hits the player. I guess you don't really need the R plus 1 stow U up here then, but it's up there. I'm too lazy to remove it. Probably didn't think about it. Oh well. And then S equals 15, which is why it has to be 2Q so that you can use lower numbers. But S has to be at least able to equal 15 at some point. And then we make sure that it can't equal the player or the block squares, and that there's only one, because the AI only works if there's one. And of course then we stow 3 there, which will be the number for the enemy's display. And then if the player wasn't created, you store them in the middle of the map. That's game. It originally wasn't supposed to be that, but it is. Okay, this removes or clears the screen, or well, no, that clears the screen here, or the numbers, the screen you put equations in, and this will turn your axis off if you don't want those on when you're doing this, and as well as clearing your graph screen. Do not put anything into y equals, because it'll draw on your little thing there, and your game will draw all over it. Now, this is also for the loading screen here. Then it goes into game, some more variables, and then this is for displaying the map. I is y and j is x. This is reversed if you've done certain mathematics, I know. However, it makes it easier for certain things on here because you'll be writing things as x comma y, or no, y comma x, not x comma y, which is kind of odd. And the only reason these 4 are here is to make mapgen feel important, because really it's not doing anything more than displaying. It's setting some variables, and that's pretty much it. So it goes into bitmap, which creates little things for that. And then you might want to pause the video if you're going to do all this down. Sorry if I'm going a little fast, but I don't want to make 2 videos from one. Let's see, we want to go into bitmap here. These are all the variables, and then if r equals 1, which we'll set later, this is for the enemy, so that he'll work here. And j and I minus O and P will come up later. And then this will set the grid size, so we're making 5 by 5 squares. And then T and S is to make so that you can move your player around and it'll remove the squares in the previous spot as well as for the enemy as well. And if you haven't moved, then N equals, then 1 sto N. Oh wait, no, 1 sto N if either one of these hasn't occurred. Then if 0, so it'll just make a pixel in the middle center part there. And then if it equals 1, it'll first remove the middle pixel. And then this is for drawing the square. See, it'll make 2 straight lines across, and then it'll make 2 in the middle parts. And then that's all for the, anyway, 1 is the block. This is for the player. That's right. Oopsies, okay. Then U and L is important because they're stationary later on in the player movement. This will turn off the player's previous position so that when the player moves, the player isn't appearing anywhere else or appearing somewhere else. Otherwise, you'll just get a line of player sprites or whatnot across the screen, or player shapes, I should say. And then if 3, which is the enemy here, it's pretty much the same basic thing. This, except for he has a dot in the middle and is in a diamond shape, not a square. Or wait, how was he? Oh well. I haven't used this program in a while, so I'm a little fuzzy of how everything looks. Now label RQ so that we can go to label RQ when needed. Now U and L is important again because they're stationary throughout this, so we can use them and then change I and J later on without affecting the player's position. So something when we need it. Now this will get the key that you press, and then here is making sure that you've pressed one of the keys corresponding to movement, which were 7, 8, 9, 4, 6, 1, 2, 3. They're not listed in order up there, I know. Then clear all lists. This is very important because after a while, if you don't have clear all lists here, you'll error. I'm not sure why. I haven't really bothered to check it out or not. I just know you need to put that there. Then go to RQ if you haven't pressed any of these buttons. And then if you've pressed, okay, now this is a little bit confusing. If you pressed anything that'll go, hold on, let me scroll down here and see which way this is going. Okay, this is for up. Yeah, oh yeah, and this is going to be reversed and things, so y minus 1 is actually up, not down, because 1, 1 will be up here, at the top of your screen. And then your highest y value will be down at the bottom. It's reversed, so that's why y minus 1 is actually up. Or if you want to think about it down and only in reverse, it really doesn't matter. So if we press 73, which is your 8 button, and we make sure that the spot is not a square, and then what this does is make sure that the player cannot move back that way. So if you've pressed 2, you can't press 8. And the way this works is, it's true if K doesn't... Wait, no, if K equals 0, it's... yeah, K, it's false if it equals 0. And of course X equals 1, so if it doesn't equal 0, it can't be 1 or 3 that is pressed, because then it'll... Wait. Hold on. I think I have that backwards. I can't remember which one's which anymore, because K was X and Y, and K don't correspond to what they normally would have. Or at least X doesn't, I think. I think X might be Y. Yeah, so I'm just kind of confused on that, but just type those in. I'll figure it out eventually. And the knots might get confusing, and then to make sure that you're not pressed, it doesn't work on the bottom of the map, make absolutely certain that doesn't happen, even though you have 1s around. Because if it reads off the map, it'll error. There's no question. It's just going to error. Or tries to display off the map. And then this is for, yeah, that's all that stuff that you need there. And then the same thing for